Okay, I wanted to record a little thing. I don't know if it'll be too long to post, but I've had a lot of questions on how to knit the two rows, the alternating rows in my in this thing here. I have a couple of these that are going. So this one is this colorway. You can see that. Lots of pinks and greens. And then this one, which is purples, blues, a little bit of pink, and the shades of green actually match the green in the other ball in this one. And you can actually see, let's see, where the two colors kind of meet in here where there's similar shades. They're almost the same, not quite the same, enough to see that it's different. There was actually a row where I thought, oh god, I've grabbed the wrong strand of yarn. So I've worked this up. The very bottom, I knit 2 rows of this before I added this yarn. So that's why that line is a little thicker, because that was my cast on row. And then I knit it across. Okay, so when they are both on the same side, this is what I do. I hold the top row, this is the top row, so that's the working yarn for that row. I hold this over here, sorry, and then I grab this yarn, put it in my working hand, the one that holds the working yarn in my tension hand, I guess would be, and then see, I have that really pretty finished line, and so I insert as if I'm going to purl, but I slip that off my needle, and then I knit. For this particular pattern is actually knit 2, so this is, I count this as a knit even though I slipped it as if to purl. So knit, knit, purl, knit, knit, purl, knit, knit, purl, on and on. So let's pretend that we have finished this whole row. So you go all the way across to finish your row. So what I'm going to be doing is, once I get to the end of my needle, what then I'm going to do is, I finished my row, we're going to pretend I finished my row. I'm just going to slide this back to the end of my needle, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing I just did. I'm literally going to slip this one as if to purl, and then finish my pattern. So knit, knit, purl, knit, knit, purl. And then once they've all reached the end of the row, like I just did, I'm going to turn my work and start again. It has created this lovely ribbed pattern. It's very similar to the accidental rib stitch that Knitting Tips by Judy does. So you open it, it's much wider. It is the exact same on both sides, the exact same. Each row is literally knit 2, purl 1. Knit 2, purl 1, you stretch it out, and then you can have, if it's not stretched, it just looks like this, but when you stretch it out, it's much, much bigger. And it literally is the same exact on both sides. And you alternate your yarns. And when I do it this way, when I hold the top row over to start my first stitch, it kind of tucks it away on the inside here, so that you don't have a floating strand of yarn up the sides of your working. So you just literally have the alternating edge here, instead of having weird yarn float all the way up the edge there. It just hides it a little. I think it looks better that way. You can just tuck it away. So that's it. It's literally that easy. You have to watch your tension on the side here, but that's it. Don't pull it too tight, or you're when you slip your stitch, it's going to be too small. Because you don't want it's, you can already see it's already doing it a little because I've pulled it a little too tight in some of the lines. But if you pull the edges too tight, what'll end up happening is it'll be super, super long in the dead center, and then the edges will be drawn up super, super tight. So it'll be super short on the sides and super droopy in the dead center. So you don't want that. You want a nice square, or rectangle in this case. So yeah, that's it.